Okay. Did I get a finger to go yet?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Come on. Yeah, the fabulous 8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m. Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, what up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. It is the early edition, the 2-week out edition, the 2 weeks out of we're not going to have an answer anyway edition. With that being said, this is not a kid-friendly show. Adult language, adult content. Do the right thing, people. Put your kids in the closet.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah. Y'all hear me? Am I good? Can't tell. Having sound issues. 8-Bit Bros. Thursday. No, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's right. It's Tuesday. It's the early edition. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
How's the knee, by the way?
It's better. Hoping to be back in the gym November 1.
Oh, good. To the left, me, Web Boy. To the right, 846 miles south, the one and only Thumpin' Loud. And up top, joining us from the top of the hour to the bottom of the hour to the end of the show, one and only J7 in the
Hello.
drinking what?
I have not made a drink yet, but I think I'm going to make a gimlet in a second.
Oh, okay, that's quite simple. Throw a couple olives in there.
I
Good to
have
go.
considered having a drink with y'all tonight because
Uh-oh.
I have a beer. Hold on, let me reach over here and grab it.
I'm going with a true and tried Guinness tonight. Winter
Well,
now.
I'm doing a Tito's and Club.
Oh, very nice.
I have a New Belgian
I see
Higher
that one.
Plane IPA.
Oh, that's off the newer line. Yeah. That's a new release.
Interesting.
Yes.
Gotten that one up here yet.
That's why I was going to possibly partake, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, they suck,
Dude.
don't they?
Considering the fact of what I went through Friday, yeah. Like, I missed my first day of work finally. I got taken out by the 24, 36, 48 hour bug or something, but
Oh.
I worked till like 5 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning, my Thursday night, right? And ended up having to work late because it was just like the poor guy loading the 2 trucks over there for Charlotte and West Charlotte, because now we do 2 instead of just 22 and a half like it had been since I've been working there. Now they've added an extra truck. And so we got these 2 trucks to load, and they brought him 2 loaded trucks already, and we're like, here you go, put these 18 carts in these 2 trucks that are already loaded. And he's over there like, I don't have a clue what to do. So I end up going over and finishing out the night for him and, you know, getting everything kind of organized and put up and getting the trucks finished, loaded, and But it took till like 5 o'clock in the morning for me, him, and 2 supervisors to get this thing done. Normally would have been out there about 3:30. Well, come home, chill out, do my normal stuff. I wake up the next morning and my throat's a little sore. I can tell that I've had like drainage, and that's why my throat's sore.
Yeah.
And my entire body from top to bottom is just ow. Like moving was ow. Like thinking about moving was ow. Like just everything hurt from top to bottom, and I was like, man, I'm fucking sick. I've gotten a cold. This is fucking stupid. And I'm hoping that that's what it is. So I'm focusing on the fact of like, let's diagnose here and see what the symptoms are and make sure you've avoided the bullshit. All right. Because getting
Yeah.
sick during the bullshit, you're just like, oh no, what the hell just happened to me? So, go through and I'm able to take, my cocktail is Dayquil, Sudafed, and Aleve.
How long ago did that start?
It was Friday, and then like Saturday, I laid out of work on Friday. Told him, I can't move. I can't make it in. I was like, that's just the way it is. I was like, I'm my bad. I hate it, and he's like, no problem, man. He's like, rest up, get feeling better, blah blah blah. He was like, you ain't missed no days since you've been here. He was like, I know you ain't trying to dip. He was like, so yeah, do what you got to do. So, I'm down all day Friday. I'm down most of the day Saturday, and then Saturday night I'm like, you know what? Fuck this cold. I'm staying up at my normal hours, doing my normal things, just hanging for my time periods that like trying to keep my schedule as normal as possible. And I'm like, fuck it. And so I have a couple beers and play some video games and snack a little bit. And like Sunday I was fine. Sunday I was feeling good. A little bit of a lingering kind of a sniffle, with a little bit of a cough because of the phlegm hang up. But aside from that, everything, I'm good. Went to work last night and fucking busted out my shift like it was no problem. And I mean, it still
did you
ain't
get
nothing
a?
for me to throw 140 pounds around. So
Sure, right?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. Did you get a test?
no,
For what, COVID?
Yeah,
why
for
would I?
COVID.
Why,
Did you forget there's a pandemic?
Yeah, no, it's a pandemic. There's no pandemic.
yeah,
It's
Whatever.
if I started to show symptoms that made it relative, then I would have.
yeah, he had the sniffles.
It sounded like you had the symptoms. You felt like you got hit by a truck. You had a cough.
No, I didn't have a cough initially. I had I had a runny nose and body aches.
Okay.
As long as your taste buds still work, you're good.
Oh yeah, that was one thing I really kept a check on. Like
kinda-
I was eating different stuff, going, all right, yep, that chili cheese Fritos.
yeah,
those
no,
are chili cheese Fritos. Oh, that's cheese in that soup.
tomatoes.
Well, you got to make sure you like all your flavors are right, and so
Yep.
my flavor profile never, even with the stuff he knows, my flavor profile never went off. So I was like, all right, solid. But
Well, that's good.
also as far as how quickly it transitioned through it with no respiratory issues at all, except for
Okay.
like a stuffy nose, which Sudafed took care of. So. But
Okay. Well,
yeah,
then it
it was
sounds like you're okay.
that was my wild weekend. It started Friday. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, like I said, I was back into work last
Oh.
night with no problem, like just banging it out. So I sat and did my damn things and handled it. Same thing I'm gonna go in there and do tonight. I like the fact that they've got somebody else over there doing those trucks now.
Oh, that's
That
bonus.
is the bonus, because I hated having to come out. Like last night, I didn't have to go do the truck. 3 times last week, I didn't have to go do the truck.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, every night at the end of my shift, like there were 3 times prior to last week that I had not loaded this truck when I got done unloading trucks all night. So to get 3 days last week where it was like, holy shit, that's like more, that's as many as I've had the entire time I've worked here.
Oh, wow.
You know, so to just get that kind of relaxing, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. But hopefully they keep adding more people over there during the shift so that they can get both of the trucks loaded a little bit faster. Because right now I see supervisors going over and helping the one guy that's been over there. But,
Nice. Okay.
we got 2 girls unloading trucks now. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, as long as you do your strength training, there's no reason why you can't.
True.
Hashtag girl power.
Most of the girls end up over on Sword Isle though,
Mhm.
instead of on the trucks.
Right.
Hashtag answer the phones.
No. Sword Isle is all upper body work, but it's package minimum. Like 70 pounds is if it says 70 pounds, we don't even send it over to the sorters.
Right. Yeah, it's lightweight touch.
Yeah. So I mean, and 65 pounds above your head is not the
That's
easiest of work. So
Yeah.
you know, it's not like they're getting away with nothing. It's just that they don't have to worry about picking up 140 pounds like I do. You know, it
You have
definitely
to
comes.
physically pick them up, like pick up 140 pounds.
I have on several different occasions because it needs to go onto a platform to be escorted out of the truck, but sometimes that's just what has to be done. Usually, if there's somebody there, I'll get somebody to help with it. But if not, I mean, I'm a strong boy, so it's no big deal for me to
Okay.
I've been given the nod by a couple of the bigger guys at the job that they've seen some of the stuff I picked up, and they're like, "Okay, so you're in the 300 crew."
Right.
Well, okay.
You know, so I can hold my own definitely. And there's some
Yeah,
guys that are way bigger than me out there. So
I can't get to the 300 crew.
oh
Two-
no,
260 is the most I can lift and move around. I could probably lift 300, and that's it.
gotta do what you gotta do, man.
So, but the 260 club, 260, I can do.
Our favorite one here lately has been what is it? What's the Chuck Norris workout equipment thing?
Oh yeah. Bowflex or whatever
No.
the fuck.
I'm not gonna give Bowflex the credit. But
Cross track.
it's not that either. But his little workout machine has been like one of the popular things coming through. And it's 110 pounds in the box. And so you'll get a truck that'll have like 8 on it.
Oh, Nordic track.
What's it called?
Total Gym.
Yeah, the total gym.
It's Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris.
Oh, I see.
Really?
Okay.
Chrissy Brinkley's part of that?
Yeah.
I know
Chrissy
Chuck. I know Chuck and his wife were part of it.
I don't know about his wife.
Yeah, it's him and his wife do all the commercials.
Well, Christy Brinkley, there's a video on the website of her.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's
interesting. I've never actually seen her in any of the promotions. I've always seen Chuck and his wife. They do the infomercials at night.
No, that's Christy Brinkley.
No, it's not.
Are you not? Okay.
I know what Christy Brinkley looks like, dude. Trust
I-
and fucking believe I know who she is. But no, it's him and his wife that do all the infomercials.
Yes. I've seen the infomercials with his wife. She's always wearing like a fucking USA shirt or something. I've seen them. But yeah, him and Christy Brinkley are the spokesperson for the Total Gym, the Universal Home Gym, the total body workout.
Yeah, with no weight, it's no weights. It's all just you moving your mass around strategically.
Yep. Clayton Crenshaw got out of the first inning after putting 2 on.
But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But they're 110s, and that's the truck that you'll see some of the hardware guys like watch on. They're like seeing whether or not you can take them. I've been put in to relieve people who can't handle those trucks, so I'm that guy. There's actually a guy on our crew that's like, man, I am so glad you were here. They were having me do that shit all the time. I'm like, yeah, it ain't no problem. But yeah, so that was the weekend led into that.
Oh wow, we were talking about the weekend. Damn.
That was literally Fridays kicked all of that off for me, and that's what I spent my weekend doing. Was kind of like Saturday, I was like, fuck it, and started to battle my way back on my own. I was like, man, fuck this cold.
Well, I guess it just hit you really hard at first, and then your body just fought it off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and like I said, my regimen.
Strong immune system. Yes.
I was like, what are we doing, babe? You hit up the pharmacy technician. You go, hey, baby, what are we doing? And she's like, what are the symptoms? I'm like, this. And she's like, all right. She goes, well, this. She's like, you got the other thing. I was like, okay. I was like, well, go grab those. And we'll do this. And so my Dayquil, my Sudafed tablet, and my leave.
Nice.
And in
And she
2
didn't-
days' time, I was done.
Yeah, good cocktail. That usually knocks out any kind of cold flu-like symptoms.
Yep, knocks them right on down.
Yeah.
But like I said, after the fact, like I've been good. I'm still, because of, like you said, it is a pandemic, so you gotta keep an extra eye on things. So I've been watching that.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And I stay masked up all the time when I'm at work too. So, because remember, wearing a mask isn't for you to protect yourself; it's for you to protect your others.
That's right.
Right. Exactly.
And
Plus
the
you
good
never-
thing is it's that W mask, so I love wearing it.
Oh, shit. Oh, by the way, it looks like they're keeping their name for another year.
Still can't get
Really?
Still can't get
What
Red
is
Tails.
the other name? What's the name? What's the new name gonna be? Did they decide?
They didn't decide. There's been a
No, Red
lot
Tails is still tied up. That's the problem.
of Red Tails. They like the Warriors. There was talk of bringing back the Federals.
Mm.
Red
Which-
Wolves is
The
still tied up.
Federals.
Red
Yeah.
Wolves is still tied up in court.
Federals go back to the USFL. Donald Trump's league, I believe, was the Federals, wasn't it?
Might have been
Something.
That's a bad name.
for a team in
Federals.
DC.
What, a team in Washington? The
I
Washington.
don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
Washington D.C.
Yeah,
Or Washington. Oh, okay.
it's just
Um,
like when the Expos
how? Yeah.
they came over, they went to Washington D.C. and they're the Nationals.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know about the Federals. The Nationals has a ring to it. The Federals sounds like the cops. Like the Federals are coming. What? Oh my God!
that
hide
would
the
be
stuff.
hilarious for the fan base.
Especially Tom Brady. The Feds beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, right. And
The feds are coming.
the Feds beat.
What do you got
Brady
coming
and
into
the
town this week? The
Buccaneers.
Feds. We got the Feds at my house.
I don't know.
You gonna
Might
watch
as
the
well
Feds?
call. Let's
Sunday?
call them the feds.
Yo, hey man, I'm a
should
huge
do-
fan of the Feds.
Yeah,
Should
that's
just
what
call
I'm
them
saying.
the
Like,
fuzz.
just based on the fan base alone, how hilarious would that be?
Do you mind if I smoke some weed? No, I'm watching the Feds.
Just call them the fuzz.
That
But
would
yeah,
be
it's
their
like
nickname.
keeping the name for another year. They still got to work out all that legal shit with the colleges, whatever name they wanted anyway.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Red Wolves.
Red Wolves, Red Flies, Red Bugs, Red Rockets.
No, none of those. Just the
Whatever
Red
the-
Wolves.
Whatever the team name. There's two of them, and plus he's holding that other one because he wanted to start up that fucking arena football league or some shit like that. So
Mhm.
there's options all over the place, but looks like nothing's going to be worked out for next year.
Nope. Probably not.
At least that's what I've read. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I've read. Fucked up. But
Which, yay to the NFC East for giving everybody else wins this week, especially
Oh.
my Redskins, which I'm still going to call them that, giving the Giants their first win of the season. Yay us.
I did that in a bar the other day. Yeah, and that sucks. I told you because I had the Giants to win week 3 against Denver. That was the perfect game for them to win because at least Denver's a pretty decent team, and they were looking like shit then. And Washington was never a decent team this year, and I don't think there's going to be a week where they look good. They might
Not
look
really.
Yeah, they might look okay. That was a good game. They looked all right. They look good.
Yeah, they look like they're building on something. They got something going on. They got a little bit of chemistry working between this guy and that guy. Something's starting to work out. This guy looks good.
Yeah, they just need to figure out the quarterback issue. Like just put a guy. You got 2 young guys, right?
2 young guys.
And a middle-aged gentleman who's coming off a fucking ginormous, huge surgery.
Yeah, one of the worst injuries in the NFL.
One of the worst injuries probably in the face of sports, period, except for maybe IndyCar, where you can easily get killed.
No, there was a guy who got his eyeball poked out in a wrestling match.
Yes, and a guy who took a baseball to the eye socket and fucking made him lose his eye. He still played after that for a while. Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few weird accidents like that in sports. Football, a lot of poked eyes. That was like a thing to do back then.
Oh, dude.
Poked
How about
eyes?
Tom Brady just had his eye poked this week?
Yeah, you reach through the helmet and fucking jab him in the eye, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was one of those Lyle Zato.
Yeah,
Lyle.
he used to shit. Lyle Zato. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was one of his things. Definitely one of his things. He said he used to do that shit all the time. He's like, it wasn't nothing to grab a guy by the face mask just to poke him in the eyes. Thumb to the eyeball. All the time. He used to do that shit all the time. I was like, damn, that's fucking harsh, dude. But he was fucking.
That's cold.
He was mean. That was his nickname.
Not right there, but okay.
What?
What?
You ever there messing with bets still?
No, shit's not updating right over here. I'm watching. I was trying to watch some stream data, and
Oh, it's horrible.
yeah, I know that.
Oh wait, we should do our due diligence and check testings for tonight's debate.
Is that tonight? Isn't that Thursday?
Yep, mute works.
Yep. Now Webb's got to unmute himself so he can actually talk again. This is the fun part. This is how we test it because it takes Webb forever to figure out where he's got to go again in order to unmute.
But what did I do to get muted?
Nothing.
We were
He was just
testing to
for
make
the debate.
sure things work for the debate
Oh, gotcha.
because they're
Gotcha.
muting.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. It's fucking weird. I'm not getting any data over here. It's telling me like no kilobytes going out. What the fuck? And then over here it's showing me everything. It's weird. It's very weird. Very weird. So, in case anybody missed it, people out there, NASA fucking landed on a asteroid today.
On an asteroid?
I said that was
Asteroid. Yesterday. Took a sample of the asteroid and jettisoned
today?
itself. Yeah, it was today. Yeah, it was today. And jettisoned itself back into space to come home with the sample.
I thought it's sticking around to do another pass next year.
Yeah, it's allegedly. They're going to shoot it back or some shit. They're going to canister rocket it thing back. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, jettisoned itself off of the asteroid and put itself back in orbit. That's a major fucking step for robotics. I'm sorry. To calculate that, to do that, that's major. That's an big time accomplishment. And then what? Nokia gets the contract to build a cellular network on the moon.
That's crazy.
which I really don't understand because what do you need it for?
Because we plan on putting long-term.
So you're not forward thinking. You're thinking I'm going to wire the planet with some shit when Elon Musk has just shot up 1,600 micro fucking satellites that can beam anything anywhere.
No, they can only beam it to Earth.
They can beam it wherever they want. It's just a matter of putting a little psh, psh, psh on the satellite and turning it.
Yeah.
You don't need 65,000 little baby satellites pointing at the moon. You can only be on one side of the moon anyway, because it's the only side that gets light. Dark side of the moon is dark. It's cold,
That's true.
dark. So it can only be on one side. So how many satellites would you need? A half dozen? A dozen? 1,000? He's putting 63,000 of them up there, which, by the way, Microsoft believes in so much, they just signed a deal to use SpaceX to beam their mobile, indestructible data centers.
Yeah, this is like the ones they've been trying underwater. This is their the other version.
Yep. And they believe in it so much, they just signed a deal that SpaceX is going to be the data provider, your data pipeline for their cloud-based fucking tractor trailer.
That's awesome.
Half a tractor trailer, right? Yeah, it's about half a tractor trailer from the ones I saw in the mountains and shit. Self-sustainable. Can withstand everything. Like Thumb said, the ones they've been practicing with now, the ones that they just told you about,
Yeah,
are the ones
underwater version. Yeah, these data center pods.
Yeah, fucking cool. Take a bunch of computers, put them in a submarine, and sink them to the bottom of the ocean. See what happens. I mean, that's basically what they're doing, right? They're down there like 5 miles deep or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, the ones that they're doing
5 miles.
the
some
water tests
ocean.
that they're doing are they're not super deep, but the ones they're doing I think were like right off the coastline of someplace, and they're not super deep.
Well, I know early on because they started this shit in like 2018. They were doing it in a buoyed off section of the ocean. So I know that
Well,
wasn't.
they got a country to agree to let them use this plot. It's attached to. It's not just out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. It's on claimed water.
Yeah, and it's on a rig. I like the big ass windows, a logo on it, but it doesn't say how. It does 117 feet to the rock slab seafloor. So it's not saying how deep it is, but I thought it was deeper than. I thought it was like a mile deep.
Yeah, but still, that's relatively shallow.
Well, relatively shallow, but when you're taking computer equipment and putting it in a fucking vacuum,
And under that much pressure.
right, and then dropping it into the ocean, and you got to go deep enough to keep it out of the shipping channels and shipping lanes. So it's got to
Right,
be
but
deep.
that's why there was a country that had the available space for them to be able to use to test this out for the number of years they were going to be down there.
It's 110 feet on the bottom of a seafloor.
Yeah.
That's how down this one is.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't drastically far. It was just that they needed to be able to see whether or not they could keep one submerged for the time period. They had one board foul out.
All right, right, and this is the article I'm reading here about this one is from 2018.
Right.
So I don't know how far and how much deeper they've tested it since then.
They probably feel pretty fucking good if they're gonna send one to space.
Right. But it's not saying on that article, but I mean, underwater data center, and it's been tested now since 2018, so it's fucking reliable. They pulled it up out of the ocean; it was covered in barnacles.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that video. So when did they pull it up? They pulled it up last week, right? Yeah. So it's been down there for 2 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Test. The original tests were back before Azure was even a thing, and they were testing in the Mojave Desert, where they were building data centers and fucking leaving them
Yeah,
out in the desert.
extreme climate conditions was the initial testing, and then they wanted to do pressure testing, and I think all of it's been to try and see if they could pull cloud servers into space.
Yeah, well, now it's yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that they're planning or looking at. Look, 124 million people live on a coastal area where internet access or data access is it's not really relevant there. You know what I mean? There is no cloud-based storage in these areas, and being able to bring it there is a huge deal. Because the best thing about cloud-based is however close you are to the systems. It makes it that much better. Faster upload times, faster download times. Shit like that. Doesn't take all day to sync 300 gigs of data. But when you're in some island somewhere like Puerto Rico or the Bahamas, the fuck kind of cloud-based services do you have available there? None. Not really, right? I mean, you got to buy your services from someone in the United States or wherever else is closest to you that there's a data center. With the ability to just fucking bring a data center close to those areas and drop it in the fucking ocean. Here you go, right off the coastline. Well, bam. You ain't got to worry about shit. We tested it. It works. It's good. Here's one for the whole island, just for you. You rent this shit out from us. Here you go. It's just for your island. You can divvy it up any way you want and pay, the Microsoft store in Cancun. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. And like Thumb said, the idea of space is just, space is a new race again.
Right.
Billions upon billions of dollars being dumped into space exploration by private companies. I mean, Elon Musk has a fucking master plan with these satellites. It's more than just giving fucking people internet access.
He does.
There's more to it than that. You wouldn't need 63,000 of them. You wouldn't need that many. Just in low orbit, I mean, there's got to be more to it because low orbit is like right as you come out of the atmosphere. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's low orbit. So
Right.
that's like 30,000 feet up or some shit like that.
But it's got a lot of space on the other side of it too, though.
Yeah. But that's a lot of shit that you're putting out there with us shooting rockets and all sorts of shit out into space.
Right.
There's got to be more, more of a master plan than just hey, give internet access to everybody. And it's a great idea to take over the world.
To take over the world.
Well, yeah, take over the fucking internet transmission lines. I mean, if this works and it's as fast as what we have now, if not faster, then what the fuck would I need to be running on copper for?
Oh yeah, this would immediately. Well, I mean, there's a lot to be
As long
said
as
for the fact that this is a Tesla company and that Elon may be the crazy fucker trying to actually do all the stuff that Tesla really was trying to do.
Would be.
Because this may not just be information he's trying to put through the air. This may be, remember, he's an electrical car guy, so he may be trying to do all of it. He may be trying to get everything, your data, your power, everything. Look, it can all go over the air, people. This whole being tethered by instruments is ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is also the guy who has also come out and said that he will put a chip in your head.
Yeah. So
the Neuralink chip he's been working on.
Yeah.
He's talking about eventually, that no need to like hold actual conversation with each other.
Oh, we're just like gonna telepathically speak with each other?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's cool. How?
Through this Neuralink that he's talking about.
Okay.
Like, this is a thing he is actually working on.
Okay. No, I mean, I think it's a cool idea. It just like when I think about, you're basically saying he's mapping your brain and making it so that you can talk to someone else via this chip. Yeah, just I don't know. I feel like there are more.
I don't know where the mapping becomes necessary, but
Well, because I guess I'm trying to just think it through. Like, and I don't know why.
he's figuring just plug and play.
Yeah, probably attach a few wires here or there
Yeah.
Okay.
into that neural net first, right?
Yeah, you'd have to at least map the language centers of your brain so that you would be able to think about what you're saying, and then this chip would be able to read it and transform it into words.
Actually, was just looking at a piece of robotic technology.
Hmm.
One of the streamers I was watching the other day got on this kick of like the frames that the military uses, like to pick up and move boxes and stuff like that pulls the weight off of you and puts it on this like exoskeleton type thing.
Hmm.
And was looking at, there is suit technology that can be linked mentally on that level with these sensors and stuff, that
Hmm.
if somebody comes up and moves his arm, it doesn't move the arm of the thing. But if he moves his arm, it takes actual neural stimulation from his body to moving his arm, so he can't be manipulated into doing something.
Hmm.
And I thought that was really neat. So they've already got a certain level of communication available to him on that front. I missed that call.
That's a good point.
I was trying to click it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so.
But
Okay,
yeah, so they've got stuff like that that's already kind of starting to neuro work, like out some of the programs though.
Okay, cool.
That's why
pretty cool.
I think some of the stuff, like the groundwork's already been kind of, now it's an unknown person.
Is there someone trying to call in?
You can say hey.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I got a big win, guys. Just want to let you know that.
All right, congratulations.
I didn't even hear what he said.
Hey, the bragging about his endowment.
Oh, a big wiener. Oh, great. That's good. Oh, reach your fucking mouth down there and suck yourself off, asshole. How about that?
Ew.
Don't go ill. It's not gay if you can do that, remember?
That's right.
It's
Not
on
sure
the
about
list as not gay. You put it on the list.
Yep. You might want to check your paperwork. It is on the list.
Is it? I'm gonna check it right now. Yeah, check to see if indeed is not gay.
Yeah, self-pleasuring is not gay. It's just another form of masturbation.
Okay, what if it's a stranger?
You're not a stranger to yourself.
One would hope.
Do you know what?
It's not like switching hands midway through. But...
Not gay if it's a stranger.
So that's also not gay?
No. Why would that be gay if it was a stranger?
Because you would not feel your hand. It could be anybody's hand.
I don't feel my hand when I do that anyway. I totally think of someone's mouth or something else. I don't know. I mean, would it be, never mind. I don't want to go too deep.
Go ahead, Webby. Head down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's not somebody else. Male or female. Not gay. Can't be. It's not possible. Any
Is it gay? Let us see. Well, this list is a day and a year old.
look at that? See how things go full circle?
Well, okay. According to the list, that is not on the list.
Wait, self-pleasuring?
Going down on yourself is not. In
Or-
fact, what
Right.
is on the list is
Yeah.
semen on face, even if your own, is gay, according to the ongoing list. So if you're gonna go down on yourself, you have to get out of the way quickly enough so that it doesn't hit you in the face. Otherwise, it is
one would
gay.
one would hope that he wouldn't lie to himself
Spitter or swallower? Uh-huh.
and be like, no, I'm not gonna, and then accidentally get himself. Be like,
So
oh,
you
my
have to
bad.
time it.
Be like, oh, my bad.
know you did. We have the same brain.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, you wouldn't do that to you.
Right. So just FYI, you need to get out of the way. Time it. Just perfect.
Well, no. The important part is if you are self-pleasuring, remember you can't finish.
Right.
Not with your face down there, anyway.
Right.
That's
Because
not.
then it is gay.
Yeah, because if you get any on your face, even if it's your own, it's gay.
I don't remember that as being part of it. I thought if it was your own, it's okay.
Well, that's not what we said.
Apparently, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I don't
the way-
remember. I just would put the old adage to picking a booger and eating it when you're a kid. Everybody's fucking done it. So it would be quite okay to you know what I'm saying?
What, did
Well,
this end up with some on
listen.
your face? I mean,
This is the vetted list. There,
Okay.
we cannot go back and change the list. Okay, once it's on the list, it is
Okay.
on the list.
All right. Okay. I won't disagree with that.
so there can be no amendments.
There's got to be amendments because
This is the Holy Vatican rule of law.
Well, all right, but we
the-
can have amendments. We can't fully negate things that are already here.
Okay.
we can turn around and say, well, that's wrong. We made a mistake.
No, we can't turn around and say you made a mistake
I mean,
because
what's for it's not gay? What's on the list?
not gay if you're having anal sex and you're the pitcher.
You're right.
Threesome, one girl, two guys, balls do not touch.
No, accidental touching sucks. It happens, but it's not gay if it does.
Well, according to you, if your
Yeah.
penis is touched, then it's gay.
So no DP.
Right.
No, you hold your balls back. Gives the camera angle a better view anyway. 'Cause
Well, I'm just saying, this is what's on the list.
That that's exactly what you're thinking about at that moment in time.
sure.
Yeah.
Camera
Anyway,
angle.
Got to make sure it's viewable later on. If you suck,
Well,
you can suck.
I
your-
think
it's
you
not.
need to position the camera so that
Or
it,
what? Never move. Stay in this one spot. That's a boring video. That's
well,
what-
I don't know. Hey, this was not my idea.
we got
You gotta at least get one of them like gimbal things that move around,
There you go.
or you gotta just be okay with being gay.
If you can suck yourself off, it's not gay. That should be on the list.
Yes,
Okay,
but remember,
not
you can't get
gay.
it on your face.
Right.
Because if you're willing to just stay there for the semen, then there's probably question.
Right.
Did you ever accidentally swallow a loogie? It's the same thing.
That's not the
I
same
mean,
thing.
I don't know what you're trying to say there. That you
Yeah, I don't-
clearly swallowed your own before.
I'm-
Is this what you're trying to?
I feel like you're
I
arguing
feel like there's
really
a
hard.
confession. I feel like there's a
Right?
confession that wasn't made at some point.
Suck yourself off, it's not gay. That's the point. I get the whole idea of the no semen on the face, but I think it was if it was somebody else's.
Well, in parentheses, we wrote,
If you-
even if your own.
Yeah, that's got to be a Jim Mendrinos thing.
Well, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there when
Yeah, I mean
there's
this was
footage.
approved. Yeah, you
I
can
don't-
go back through the video. This was approved.
I don't know how drunk I was that night. It's a studio night, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
was.
It was.
This was
Yeah.
in the early days of Jay trying to figure out exactly what the hell Webb was talking about.
Yeah. And what the fuck she got into being a part of all this. Jim Mangino said, "Don't worry, they're good guys." Yeah, okay.
I mean, she's been around this long. She's got a clear understanding of who we are now.
Oh, sure, without a doubt. Thoughts on Google's problem today with the DOJ? Anybody?
I mean, I don't see them being in any different situation than any of the top tech companies are going to be in over the next couple of years as they try and figure out what they're going to do about this new style of monopoly with this new commodity. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it comes down to. Each of these companies, in one way or another, you can kind of say have a monopoly over things. And it's going to be something that they're going to sort out. It is just the way it's going to go, and it's going to take years to figure it out. And all we can do is just watch as it happens, because we're not going to be privy to being able to make the decision. It is going to be forced upon us, and governments of the world are the ones that are going to do it.
Thump, you made yeah, I cannot disagree with you at all. I wholeheartedly agree. You used a term in there that I want to elaborate on, and it goes back to the arguments that we've had over the past couple of weeks with Apple being a monopoly, and they're not a monopoly, and Ren throwing out the monopoly laws, and us agreeing to disagree, to agree to disagree. These companies are monopolies, but the key word that that Thump used, I need to have a shot for that one, don't I? Damn it.
Mhm.
The key word that he used is this new commodity. These companies are so focused in the technology aspect that we have let FANG, the five biggies, take over and control almost the entire internet and data and your copy, all your everything. They've taken over it.
Right, and there is something to be said for the data aspect of it. We've all acknowledged the fact that the data has become almost more important and more valuable than the person itself, that
Yep.
the data
Watch-
seems to carry more weight.
Yep. All you got to do is watch
So-
those.
These people control it in these couple sectors, and they need, like, people want to know exactly why is it so valuable and what's being done with it. And why are the few of you the people who are controlling it right now?
Now this suit against Google, I can't see it going anywhere. If anything, the outcome of this will probably be exactly what happened to Microsoft 20 years ago. Okay. You can no-
Hey, I think my computer crashed. Sorry.
Oh, we
Hey.
see you.
you look fine
Yeah.
here.
Thank you. So you couldn't see me before, or did you?
Oh,
Oh,
you
you-
probably just froze.
Yeah, it might have been just,
Oh,
Yeah, if you got kicked out of anything, you probably just froze and stayed there for a minute and then came back.
okay.
We're gonna have to be at the point where remember
Yeah,
that
it just happened on stream. I saw it. You went block window and then came back to normal window.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Mhm.
So I missed a lot, I think, because we're on a different topic now.
doubt that much. No, we're discussing the Google antitrust lawsuit that dropped.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Hey,
and
J7, we're
Yes.
discussing that, but I want to tell you a little bit of insider information.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just gifted me Among Us.
What?
Yeah, all of a sudden it came up on the screen. They were like, "You want this copy of Among Us?" I was like, "And okay."
Oh.
So now I will be trying to con people on the internet.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. I've
Congratulations.
been playing Hades. Like, have you?
How do you like it? I haven't been playing Hades.
love it. Love it. absolutely love it. Like, I'm maybe 30 run throughs
Wow.
into the game.
Mhm.
And I've only got one completion, like fully escaping, but yo, loving it. Absolutely loving it. When I got sick, that's what I started playing.
Nice.
All right, Google antitrust. Go ahead.
I was just thinking Among Us. That's
That's the murderer catch a killer game.
Yes, Among Us is the best.
I thought that was that fucking iOS game, Steam game.
It's on
It
everything
is
now.
a Steam game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be on other things, but
Whether or not you want to be a crewmate or a imposter.
you don't get. Well,
You don't
it's
choose.
not about what you want to be. It's like people are put in the position. They're
Yes.
two
Mhm.
imposters, and
Right, the role you take on. Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Lou.
Keep playing those games. That's good. It uses the Unity engine.
The Unity engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that Apple tried. All of this started over is essentially because of that.
No, Unity is the competitor, isn't it?
No, it's the Unreal. Unreal.
Yeah. Unreal
Yeah.
is the engine Apple tried to shut
Uh-huh.
down. Unity is the competitor.
Right. My bad. Flip flop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys know where that's at, right? Like, apparently, not the Google one, but the one that's Apple and Epic. So they actually they're gonna apparently go and have like a jury trial, or have like a court date
Yep.
in July of next year,
Yeah.
which means that, and the one thing that the judge told them to do is they do need to allow other games that have been created using Unreal onto the App Store. However, they don't have to allow anything made, like any games made by Epic, back on the App Store, or Fortnite, which is what they were trying to do. They were trying to get the judge to rule that they needed to allow them back on the App Store.
Which
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't.
they weren't going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judge on the top circuit there, Fifth Circuit, ruled that he put a ban on Apple stopping the developer accounts and from anybody else using that software to develop their games. You couldn't block any of that shit because that would have just taken out hundreds of thousands of game developers.
Right.
Well, they didn't do that. What
No.
they did was they said, you can't do that until we have a resolution to this issue.
Yeah.
Right?
So
So,
July
yeah.
next, which means it won't be wrapped up until December of next year. So that's
right.
a year and a half without Fortnite in the Apple ecosystem.
Right.
That's a
Ooh.
billion devices that won't be able to play anything
And
except the
it-
last Rev.
well, that's not what that means. It means that if you didn't, like if you weren't already playing on the App Store, you're not playing Fortnite on iOS if that's what you wanted to play. But other things that run on Unreal Engine still work on the App Store. However, if I were a developer and they haven't really said that Apple isn't allowed to do that. All they said was you can't do that until we have a resolution for this. So if you wanted to be cautious as a developer, you probably wouldn't use Unreal because it could very well end up getting banned from the App Store.
Nobody will ever do that because it was just one game that broke the rules.
Right, but the game that broke the rules was made
So
by
what?
They're not going to shut down every game that's made on Unreal.
No judge will ever allow that to happen. In fact, the judge.
And I don't think they would ever do it anyway. I mean, they
Well,
threatened to
that's
do it, but
Well,
what
that
they
was
were
the
going to
initial.
do.
That was the initial
Yeah,
attempt.
that's what they
that
were going
if
to
you used
do.
Unreal, you weren't going to be allowed to play.
Well, that'd be stupid.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is that That's what Apple was going to do. The only reason they
Right.
didn't do it is because the judge said, no, you can't do that until we have a resolution to this. So if Epic loses, Unreal won't be in the, like, Unreal just won't be allowed to be in the App Store.
Potentially.
Potentially. Yeah.
It right now it may come down to just Epic created or Fortnite may be the only thing just not allowed to return.
Right. Yeah. Like, so
that's
far,
that's the minimum of the option, and then the maximum of the option is if all Unreal items will have to be removed from the store.
right. Like, if the judge rules with Apple, then they'll have to remove everything. And at minimum, like you said, Fortnite won't be on the App Store until at least, like what Boy said,
Yeah, December.
December of next year.
Yeah, at the earliest.
Yeah, if at all.
The funny part of all that
Long
is,
year.
and it could be even longer. I mean, you know,
That's
maybe
a lot in video game time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and maybe this is a good move on Epic's part, as you know, stand up for the industry type of shit, or they come out of this and actually win. Think about the money that Apple's going to have to pay them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
For
See,
damages.
I think there's some mitigating. I think there's some mitigating factors here. I
That's
think.
a lot.
I think if Fortnite's numbers continue to drop, which we know they are,
Mm-hmm.
we all know they are. Other games are coming out and stealing their time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fortnite, Apple's already made it clear. All you got to do is change your policy, and you can come back to the App Store. So in other words, eat your own shit and come back and play.
No, fuck you. You're a monopoly. 30% suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Well,
If your
I
numbers
mean,
are hitting and you have shareholders that you need to appease, and
100%.
you come out with a quarter of shitty numbers, and you have no resolution on how to make your numbers better, what do?
Sue.
but that's where they are now. They're in litigation now.
Sue.
So
They're in
They
litigation now, and it's not looking good for them
yeah.
because
it's
even the
not.
judge said you made your own bed.
Yeah. That's why they're going to court. That's right.
Yeah.
It should be heard. It's a great case. I think
You know, it's really interesting.
it's a
I
land.
think there, you know, on the one hand, I definitely feel like it's a billionaire slapbox contest. It's like, whatever, fuck both of you.
Right.
But on the other hand, I also think that Epic totally did this. If anything, they should they should be penalized in some way for doing this, because it's like you did sign a contract. So it's not like Apple was like, by the way, 30%, you know, it's not a surprise. They've been partnered, that, you know, they were, remember Infinity Blade?
Yeah.
Remember when the App Store was still kind of sort of new, and they were, you know, using these really high-res games to show off how, you know, the caliber of games that you could play on the App Store. They profited from the system for a while. And now they're coming out and being like, oh, well, you know, we're trying to save our customers money. It's like, shut up. No, you're not. you're not. Like, can we just be real for a second? You just don't think it's worth it anymore to pay the 30% that you have to pay Apple or Google or whoever. Like, just own the fact that you want to be paid 100% of the profits for this game, right? Like, yeah.
I built it. I'm paying you rent also. Let's not forget that. Rent and ransom is what I'm paying.
And you're paying it
Yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah, you're paying it, plus you're paying rent. Otherwise, like you, like
See,
they
the problem
said,
with the whole monopoly thing is, on an Xbox they're paying 30% for all transactions. On the
Yes.
Google Store they're paying 30% for all transactions, and on the iTunes Store they're paying 30% for all transactions.
Why this is a landmark case.
yeah, so they're paying all this. I
fuck-
think, yeah, they're paying that to everyone.
Yeah.
If anything, they should be suing Microsoft. They should be, and you know, they're also in litigation with Google. Why are they not going after Microsoft?
Because
Microsoft takes 30% too.
sure, you don't think that'll happen?
I guess if they win this case.
They've been involved in other cases prior to this moment before, so their name will get
Right.
shuffled back into the pile again. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. Microsoft will appear on one of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I said what we're seeing is kind of the reckoning for these companies that can.
Reason why all three aren't lumped together. And I'm sorry to cut you off. If you take Apple, Google, Microsoft, lump them together, and sue all three, it becomes a class action lawsuit. But if you don't name the third party, it's an individual lawsuit, which means
Yeah.
there's more money at stake. So you win one, and then you sue the other ones, and it's an instant win before you even get into court.
That's probably a strategy. The
Well,
strategy
you got to
is they're
set
gonna.
you got to set the precedent first.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
what happens if you lose? Do you turn face and go after the other ones, hoping for a different outcome?
If you've got the money to do so, and if that's the whole intent behind it, yeah.
Either that or you go back to the coalition of apps, lobby for more people, and then come at these companies again with a foundation that has 60 companies in it trying to sue you at once.
What you eventually are going to have is something that takes some kind of a semblance, just like the RICO Act. They tried this, they tried that, they tried this, they tried that, and then
Mhm.
finally they were like, you know what, RICO Act. We're going to do this where we pin all the lower crimes on the high-end boss.
I guess. I still don't know. Like, I guess that the foundation of the whole thing for me is really shaky. Like, you're saying, yes, we profited from this. Yes, we signed the contract. And now, because we broke the contract that we agreed to, you owe us? Like, that's just absurd. I'm sorry. I would laugh right in your face.
Well, sure. I mean, you are protected by the contract. We all know that.
Yeah. So, and they deliberately broke the service agreement.
Which,
So
which,
it's like you're like
mean-
whatever.
which may or may not mean anything if Epic can turn around and prove to the Department of Justice that what this company or that company or company A, B, and C are doing is monopolizing the industry and stealing the money.
But see, the problem with that is it's not a monopoly when you have two or three.
I'm not allowed to put my game where I want.
Yes,
But you
you
are.
can.
I can't.
Yes,
No.
you can.
Can't put it on my website to download it. I can put a link to the App Store. I
You
can't.
can put it on your website to download.
can't
You
go to
just
Fortnite and show me where it. Well, no, better yet, go to Call of Duty and show me where it says download from here.
like
Not
on
not
your.
not to play on a PC. Not why can't I go on my phone
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Call of Duty and download the Android version of the game from that website directly to my phone
You mean on Android?
on any fucking platform, Android, iOS, WebOS, whatever
They
fucking
all have a specific source that you have to download from.
right.
Yeah.
There are
But why?
certain PC games that don't have to go through Steam or don't have to go through.
No, I could go buy fucking Sims on my desktop right now.
Well, yeah, but that's the benefit of whatever platform you choose. Like, if you want to be able to just
the
install whatever you want and any rate that you want, then you should just get a PC.
That's the
If-
benefit of you stealing 30% of my money. Because I created a game to work on your device. I can only put it in your store, and you're going to take 30%.
Yeah, because you have access to my customers.
Be paying you rent. Hey, J7, you have the greatest fucking clothing line on the face of the planet, and I want you to sell it in my
does?
store. I want you to sell it in my store. I know you're selling it at the Gap and you're selling it at Sears, but I will fucking want you to sell it at Team Hofo's store.
How many people access Team Hofo store per month?
It does billions. We've got online.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to sell 1 billion pieces with me. No doubt, it's my store. I'm taking,
Okay.
taking
Can
30.
you prove that?
Taking
Do
30%.
you have a demonstrated track record of that?
Yeah, I do.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Fuck yeah, but I'm taking 30% of your shit.
Cool.
You could deal with that with your people. I'm taking 30
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, let's sign a contract and let's agree that I get
No industry.
70% regardless of how much money we make. Cool?
There is no industry in the
Yeah.
world that does that.
Well, this one does apparently. Like, and as you just described, you came to me and gave
I'm-
me the terms, and we just had a contract, and we talked about what the terms were. And
Yeah.
now, how would you feel if I turned around? Like, you know what? I know that we talked about 30%, but fuck you, I want all of it. Even though I made a ton of money off your customers with your marketing.
That's the whole point. It's bullshit from the start. 10%. 10% is more than enough.
Well, then you should have negotiated for that.
There's
Like,
no negotiating.
Where do you want
Well-
to lose it though?
Where do you get negotiating? Is there
well,
any,
if
is there anybody in Apple's payroll who doesn't give them 30%? There is no negotiation.
Well, actually, that's not necessarily true.
There is no negotiation. It's 30%. Apple,
30%
Google,
is-
Microsoft, 30%.
Okay, so the rules apply to everybody the same, right? So how is any of this stealing?
It's highway robbery. You're taking a cut of my shit.
Well, then I don't have to sell at
No.
your store. I don't have to. It's my stuff. I don't have to go to your store. No, thank you. I don't want to give you 30%. I'm good. That's all that needed to happen.
And that's exactly what Epic did. We said, fuck it. I ain't paying you shit.
Well, that's not what they did. They actually agreed to it, and then they broke the rules of the contract. That's shitty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they negated away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of her shopping through your store, say that when they clicked the link to purchase through your store, it redirected them.
Didn't redirect, gave another option.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
But
okay.
that broke
still.
the rules of the agreement.
Yeah, it's a
that we
violation
had.
of the contract.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
So
Yeah, because
now
the reason
you're
they got
not
kicked
allowed.
off, the reason they got kicked off the platform was
Mhm.
for a violation of contract.
Right. And they wouldn't remove it. Look, I get
Right.
it. Like-
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm not for. I want to see how this plays out, if it ever plays out. I mean,
Well, I agree that all of these companies. I understand people not wanting to use the word monopoly because they say, well, there's more than one of these companies, but each of these companies has sole coal mining control over their division. So that is. We don't have to nitpick it to the point of go, well, it's not really a monopoly.
Yeah.
It is to a degree. It has enough standing to say that this company may be taking advantage of not only its customer base, but also the people who are developing for the platform as well. And there's just reason to say
See the whole
that
the
there's
whole problem with all of this is the way antitrust laws are written now. You know, and the way they're framed, and going back to, what is it, 1913 or 1873 or something along those lines.
with the first one, 73, it was rewritten.
Right. So
Still at a time with
essentially,
digital data.
essentially, when you have two companies, in this case we have three companies when we're talking about Epic, who all take the same cut, the current monopoly laws don't apply.
right. That's why
Like when you
I
go
see
to the
this
letter
going
of the
further.
law, it's not going to. So what's going to happen is they're going to lose this case. The government's going to be like, we have this conundrum. Going back
Yeah.
to what Thump said earlier,
Yep.
we have this new
We got to figure out
medium
how
that
to
we need to
define this.
regulate.
Yeah, we got to figure
Yeah,
out how
we
to
have this
define
new
this and
medium.
regulate it.
So what's going to happen is that's going to take 3 to 4 years for
Oh, yeah.
them to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth just to fix this
To define it,
law,
just to
To-
define it, so that they know
just
what
to
they can do
define
to
what
fix
it is.
Yeah,
And you're going to have another 2 to 3 years before it's actually law. And at that point in time, everything we're talking about now is going to be moot because something is going to shift along the way. 7 years is a long time in the digital world.
Right. Just 1 year
Well,
of
how
no
many-
Fortnite on iOS is going to make a dramatic impact, more so to Epic than it is to Apple.
Yep, and it's not just iOS. It's also all the Android people because Google removed it from their store too.
Right. So this
So you've
is,
taken
this
the
is
whole
more
mobile
detrimental.
aspect of your gaming community and been like, well, if you want to play our game, go buy an Xbox, a PC, or a PlayStation, or a Switch.
Yeah.
I almost said Wii, and then you can play our game.
Let me strike
Where
out.
a lot of people are going to be like, okay, I'll go try another game, and in 1 year's time, someone can come out with a Fortnite-like experience
Yeah.
on a similar model.
What do you mean? This is becomes the reemergence of
Free
PUBG because PUBG didn't mind all these rules.
If PUBG fixes itself and gets cute and all that, one of the driving forces, one of the deterrents for web is its cutesy, cartoonish
Yeah.
aspect of the game. One of the drawing factors
Right.
for a lot of people was the
It's
cutesy, cartoonish,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
that's
bringing
why-
in
that's
all
why
the
Valorant-
superheroes and all that stuff.
That's why Valorant
why-
came in and took
Yeah,
such a big
literally
stance.
that.
Yeah. Look, Fortnite's making some money hand over fist still. Their Xbox platform user base is up like 160%.
30% on every transaction.
So they're still making their money. It's a landmark case because it brings a whole new light to what antitrust is.
Right,
It's-
and
it
I
doesn't-
think that's the
Well,
that's the
10-year
long
prop to
term.
fix it.
Yeah, that's the long term on it, and we're definitely
You're not going to
talking
get
a
your
long
you're not
term.
going to get it, and you're not going to get a monopoly
No, I'm not even talking
resolution out of this
not-
because it's a triopoly or a duopoly at a minimum.
right, and it's not one. It's
Monopoly.
it's antitrust. You're taking control of an industry. You're taking control of an industry.
Well,
That's what it is. You got one person on one
But
side.
who are you going after for antitrust?
You're going after Apple, and then you're going to go after Google, and then you're going to go after Microsoft, and you're going to go after. You win one, you're going after them all.
but what is the antitrust? Like, if you created the store, like, shouldn't you have control of it? You built it. You invested in it. You
Well, it's anti-competitive. It's anti-competitive. You are
How
not.
is it anti-competitive?
You are basically what they're telling is any developer. You got an app with us. You can't fucking sell it anywhere else. You can't open your own store. You can't further your own business. You've decided to make a video game, and that's all you can fucking do.
no,
But
it
I
can go
can take my
everywhere
game-
else.
But I
No,
can take my
It
game.
can go on
Yeah, but I
Android.
can
It
take my
can.
game and port it to Android and port it to Microsoft.
No, it's the same thing over there. The point here
But it
is
doesn't matter. I still have the flexibility to go and put my game elsewhere. I can
You're
go
not-
put it on any platform I want. If I want to sell it on the App Store, I have to develop it for the platform,
right.
and I have to follow your guidelines. I
Right.
want to put it on Android. I have to develop it for your platform
Right.
and follow your guidelines. I want
Right.
to put it on the Xbox. I have to develop for your platform and put it on the Xbox.
So fine. Why
So
are you?
where's your antitrust?
What you're not allowing me to do what I want with my own intellectual property
But
because
what
Wait,
is
let
it that you want to do? Like,
what do I want to do? I want to open a store and sell shit that corresponds to my game. I can't
but you
do.
can do that.
No, you can't.
Epic has its own
Sure you
store.
You have any transactions that are made directly through
PC.
involvement on iOS or
Not true.
Any-
Anything that is a service or a physical product, you do not have to pay 30% on.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
15.
if you're buying
No,
if you're buying
zero.
bits,
Right.
you
Mm.
pay.
Yeah, and they're pretty transparent about it.
You pay.
So it's
you
not
pay
like
for
it's
your
a
bits.
surprise. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
I get. See, I get how you're like, yeah, it's not like it's a surprise, but I'm also kind of shocked at everybody's comfort with the
Back
fact that that number is okay by y'all.
Bellinger, was that Bellinger who just hit that?
Cody
Fuck
Bellinger, 2-run homer.
Pay me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Excellent. Kershaw got 6.5, 7 strikeouts yet? How many's he got? 6. All right, one more, and you can pay me on that bet too. It's the antitrust part of it all is where it comes from.
But I just don't get that. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get your antitrust argument either, because
because you're not allowing them to do what they want with their own product because we need to have 30% of your shit. This whole argument started from when they wanted to put shit on sale, and Apple said no.
Well, no, they wanted to put stuff on sale and
wanted
pay.
to count for the pandemic. No.
Wait. But the whole thing with it being on sale was they wanted to sell it at a lower price, and Apple was like,
"Fuck you!
That's fine, you can do that, but you're still gonna owe us 30% of the original price."
Right.
So you can put it on sale if you want. I don't care what you do, but you still owe me 30% of the original price.
Yeah, but okay, so hold on, stop, Webb, stop. So you're selling dresses at Webb's store for $100.
Yep.
And you have sold enough that you're like, I want to go on sale with these dresses. Now the 30% that he's been taking, so that's $30 on the $100 dress.
Mm-hmm.
You discount the dress. What? What's you going to discount? 20, 25%?
I'm gonna make a $70 off of, if it's $100, I'm only charging $80, right? And now Apple or Web Store wants me to pay 30%.
You continue to pay your 30, so now you're taking the full hit on the decision to sell.
Right.
Where they're still getting money that they really haven't in any way, shape, or form, like, validated you paying an original costing on. That there's no means to modify your price point, that all of that is dictated by them.
Right. So they were basically saying whatever amount you sell it for, it doesn't matter.
Whatever you said you were selling it for is what we're taking. Once you submit a price, that's it. That's in stone.
Right.
And that's what you owe us on. And I don't think that is okay. I don't think the fact of that over time is okay.
I agree that that's not right.
I believe that malleable price points should be okay. That if I decide to put 20 items out there, see, because you look at the way a store like a coin store type thing like Epic would do, where if you buy 100 coins, you get it at this price, but if you buy 1,500 coins, they'll give you 1,300 more coins at that new price, like where they do these off, they throw the denomination off, where if they decide to discount anything, then that doesn't mean nothing in this world. Like, you're just essentially, you've just decided to give away more of your bits for free.
Right. Basically, they were just giving it away for free, essentially. I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that.
You have to sacrifice your profit as the company of origin, and Apple still meets their bottom line, period, of what the sale was going to be off gate.
Right. Yeah.
Like from day one, their profit never changes. If anything, it just increases, kind of.
Right, because you're making more sales because your stuff is on sale, right?
Right.
That would be the goal of your putting it on sale.
Right.
So essentially, you're just making Apple more money while you're taking the hit.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
That's the point. That's the point.
I'm a firm believer in, like, whatever you want to sell your wares for, you sell your wares for. I'm taking 30%, you're taking 70%.
Now, if it was 30% period, then yes. But to go back to the argument of what the original cause for all of it was,
I get that.
Was that they wanted to sell it, and Apple was like, fine, but we're taking our $20 on every exchange.
Right.
You know,
they were like, we're going to take 30% off the
that
original.
We're taking our same cut. You can put it on sale all you want to, but we're still taking our cut.
I think that's really where the disagreement began.
Right. That is where the disagreement began, and that's the one thing that's not been re-clarified as we've gone into the discussions, Is
Right.
the initial problem was, oh, you can do whatever you want to, but we're not taking the hit, and
Right.
that is a problem.
Right. I agree with that portion. I think that
Yeah, all of
You
the
know.
other stuff is negligent. Like, it doesn't even need to be discussed. Like 30%, if you signed a contract, you're on the hook for the contract. But for them to sit here in the subletting of this contract and sit here and go, well, there's no price manipulation. Anytime you sell anything, regardless of what you're selling it for, you still owe us this dollar amount. Like, that's a little fucked up. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, you were kind of
Yeah.
on the hook for the deal in the first place.
And the judge permanently restrained Apple from removing Unreal Engine. That was
Yeah,
on.
I think that was more. I think that was more of a.
Right. We're not going to destroy your business.
That was
but
a
you-
shock and awe move. By,
Yeah, I think that was more of like, you want to take us serious. You don't think we're serious. This is how serious we're willing to be.
yeah, fuck all your
With
shit.
it kind of being a shot across the bow, like, go ahead and fuck with us because we'll just destroy you.
Yeah, well,
But
all,
no,
all of
Judge,
everything you ever had will be gone.
Yeah.
that would make them total monopoly antitrust. If they had that much power to say, oh, you and your products and anything you make for any product by other people, out. No one would ever, ever, ever. There ain't a Supreme Court judge in the world who would vote yay to that.
Well, apparently
Yeah, I agree.
not.
That's why I think
which
it
is a
was
good thing. It was definitely the Hail Mary to
Mhm.
see if they could get Epic just to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
It was definitely a
honor
shock.
your contract.
Yeah.
Mhm. It was definitely a shock and awe kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like,
That's-
yeah, you think
Oh, but it
you think this is a game?
Right? What business, motherfucker? This is business.
Yeah. yeah.
Shit.
But I think it brings up more interesting questions, because what it essentially is going to do for the landscape of things is bring, hopefully, people's attention to the idea that it's not only these companies that are part of this problem that we're seeing, it's us. We, the consumers, are also part of this problem that is gotten a little out of control. And the fact that companies have so much control over all this, we need to know a little bit more about what they're doing with it.
Well, here's the other thing, Ren. To go with this whole antitrust monopoly mafia style of tactics here. I mean, you guys both say this is good because you have one central place to download your apps, but basically Apple, Google, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and whomever else, has their little app stores. You can, I'm sorry, you can't.
Nintendo is a great example.
You can't deal with the customer. You can't deal with the customer, not directly. No. You're going to make your little shit game, and you're going to hand it over to us, and we're going to sell it to your customers for you. You can't talk to the customer. No, you can't do that. On what fucking business plan? What planet does business get done like that?
Well,
what planet?
the thing about it is in this instance, that's not necessarily the case. Like, Apple assumes no responsibility for anything that goes on within the game. Like,
No.
if you get a cheater, you don't call Apple and go, "Hey, Apple, there's a cheater in my game." You have to go to Epic and report that.
You got to deal with that.
So they don't
Yeah.
do customer service. They're not your middleman on any certain terms. They just want you to pay for the overarching protection of, the neighborhood's good.
Right.
Right.
It's safe.
Like, we
There may be a
built
little
the
shit.
neighborhood.
There may be a shitheaded
Yeah.
little kid in your neighborhood,
Right,
but
it's
the neighborhood's safe.
It's safe.
Yeah,
you
no
know,
assholes are coming in from another town and fucking with your shit.
right.
The gang down the
Yeah.
block is not coming up onto your block. You don't have to worry about that. Even though you got a shitheaded little kid that lives on your block that likes to throw rocks at windows, at least the gang of people down the street that like to bang on the gang of people on your street don't have to deal with each other.
I mean, the
That's
idea,
a great analogy.
the idea behind the Coalition for App Fairness is try to defend the fundamental rights of creators to build apps and do business directly with their customers. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Sony say no.
But what would that look like?
Well,
like ideally,
they're the block
like,
leaders.
I don't.
That would
Yeah.
look like me walking into my local Five and Dime, buying a pair of jeans, and actually talking to the person who's selling them to me.
Actually,
But you
no,
can do that.
You don't do
No, I
that.
can't. No, I can't. What are you talking
Like
about?
what do you mean talk to the person who's selling them to you?
Do business. Ren made this great app. I can't do business with Ren. Ren, I want to buy your app. No,
Yeah.
no, don't talk to me. I can't. I signed some shit when there's some store I know
Well,
nothing.
If
so
I
just-
go into web store to buy your dress, I can't ask you about your dress.
No, can't talk to her.
I can't even, if I wanted to, try to maybe negotiate a price with your dress because maybe I own another store that I would like to eBay your shit with.
Okay. If you want to buy my dress and you have another store where you might also want to buy it, what's stopping me from doing that? Like,
No, I'm just going with wherever direction he's walked away now. So it's like I want to go into your store and buy this dress.
So I understand his point, but at the same time,
Wow.
it doesn't work under the current structure of how things.
Right,
are
and that's
laid
the
out.
part that we're
Yeah.
still gonna. We got a long way to deal with on how they're gonna define the level of what the commodity actually is. Because right now, we have an idea of a commodity that somebody is got hostage over, and we don't really know what the commodity really is or what it's being used for that made it so valuable. So
And
until
the-
we get
the
the
crazy thing
commodity,
is-
until we get the commodity defined, I think all the other conversation is kind of.
And the craziest thing is the fact that it's taken this long to come about, considering Nintendo
yeah.
from the
Right.
jump in 1980 controlled everything, and to this day still controls everything that happens on their platform.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. They
Right.
control
What games
every
you can
single
play
thing.
there, what the even down to a ethics code of what your games can almost entail in order to be included on their, platform or even mentioned.
Yes. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
you can't just put anything over there. They're really constricted.
And Sony, to some degree, I mean, not game wise, but what was their whole thing about Play Anywhere? No, we're not doing that because we don't
Yeah.
want to subject underage kids to
People from
raging
other
asshole
platforms.
adults.
Crap.
Yeah, we don't want to expose them to people off our platform.
Right.
Right.
Because we feel
This
we
is a safe. This is
guard
a
the
safe
data.
neighborhood. This is the safe neighborhood that we built.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's almost like
Now,
not
keep
like
going
those
with your little
people
analogy there. You're
over
talking about
there.
You're talking about apps. Now take your neighborhood and translate it to the app stores. Hey, we want you to come buy your goods from our neighborhood for your device because we know our neighborhood's safe. All the street lights are always on. Our streets are immaculate. There's no garbage ever littered around. This is the place you want to come get your goods. We've created it for you so you don't have to be worried about any bad stuff.
That in itself is bad stuff, though.
Now it is.
Like
In the beginning, it wasn't.
sounds
In
good.
the beginning, everyone was like, "This is a great idea.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna
mean-
go do that too, and I'm gonna go do that too." And everyone who's got a platform, down to Xbox, to PlayStation, to Nintendo, to Google, to Apple, to I
I'm
guess
gonna
you can
give
say
you $1
Steam.
million if you just look over there.
Dude, you can't even download Nintendo's.
Not telling you that I'm gonna put my thumb in your butt when you
no,
turn
you
around.
can't.
You can't download Nintendo's app
What
without
do you
do-
mean?
without doing it through Google Play or iOS.
You can't download anything on an iPhone without going through the App Store. Not without voiding your entire, you have
you're
to,
violating your terms of service.
yeah, like you can't do that with anything, even
Not
for free stuff.
true. Not true. Not true. Hey, Ren, how'd you get DraftKings and FanDuel on your phone?
Through the App Store.
Bullshit. That's in the App Store? It's illegal gambling.
It is?
I can't get it through the App
It's
Store.
governed by location.
Yeah, I can't get it at the App Store.
Sure you can.
No,
I
I
don't know.
can't.
Well, how did Ren get it and you
Google
didn't
Play.
get it?
Google Play, I can't get it from the Google Play Store. It's not in there. I have to download it from an outside source. I have to get it directly from FanDuel.
What is it called? DraftKings?
Yeah.
I
DraftKings
have it. I can get it.
Sportsbook.
I can get it right now if I want to. DraftKings Fantasy Football?
No, Sportsbook.
Oh, Sportsbook.
DraftKings Sportsbook.
What's the
FanDuel
difference?
Sportsbook. One is for fantasy football, which is legal because it's not gambling. And one is
Right.
to gamble, which is illegal in 27 states.
Okay, DraftKings Sportsbook and Casino. I
Yep.
can get it on the App Store.
Really? That's new. That's totally new.
I've
It's,
always the only place I've ever downloaded it from is the App Store.
Nope, not me. Can't
Number 8 in sports, ages 17 and up.
do it. I'm doing mine from the outside. In fact, I know there's an update.
I guess you better get an iPhone, maybe.
Which is crazy because I'm looking right here. Kingpin Sports Betting is on the Google Play Store. Bet Up Sports Betting's on the Google Play Store. Riviera Casino, Google Play Store.
Where the fuck is my
Sports Betting Interactive, Google Play Store.
Yeah, where's DraftKings? Is it there?
I don't see it yet.
Also, FanDuel is here.
FanDuel there, Ren?
Yeah.
Regular FanDuel's here.
No Sportsbook. What are you looking in, Ren?
Google Play, play.google.com.
Not there, right? Penn National.
Which is Caesars is here. It's like it's
Yo, I got a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
like why would they allow certain and not allow others?
Don't know. Can't figure it out. Now, I did see an update come through today, and it said something about my Google Play Store, so my game's in there, so I just want to take a quick look and see if it's there. Facebook, no. Google, no. No Twitter, no, because I got a lot of updates to be done here. Look at this shit. FanDuel. Is that an update? Nope, I had to do it from outside.
Well, I mean, the point is you can download whatever you want. Anything you want to download to an iPhone, you need to do it through the App Store. That's really the way to do it.
Because
Even if it's free.
verified and protected and all
Right,
those things.
yeah.
Like I said, it's the safe neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to control and take 30% of your shit off. Because I'm the fucking, what do they call them? Oh, the mafia. Right.
Or the
Where
block
they would
police.
go to the store and say, we need 30% of your shit to make sure nobody breaks your fucking windows.
Yeah, but if you live in a neighborhood that has HOAs and you decided to move into that fucking neighborhood, you volunteered for the HOAs.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I didn't know I was going to open up a store and have someone march in the door and say, you want to sell shit in this town, give me 30%.
Yo,
Didn't
we just actually had Curry Corporation, which is a company that owns like a lot of retail space here.
Right.
Just win a rezoning in a very high-end neighborhood so that they could build apartment complexes.
Nice. It's happening here, too. We've got shit going. Yes.
Yeah, that just happened today. They were like, and the rezoning is complete. It's like, ooh, there are some places over there that are
So
not
what now?
happy.
Right.
Now they're going to build 4 or
Mhm.
5-story fucking apartment quads.
Hey, Louie, how many strikeouts Crenshaw got?
Well, now they just gave up a run.
Is that 7 strikeouts I see?
It's 7, but Tampa Bay just scored a home run.
Okay, that's fine. 7 is all I wanted to hear. I could give a shit less who wins or
Okay.
loses the game. I just want to make sure my prop bets pay out. That's 2 down, 2 to go. Hell yeah. That's some of these prop bets, man. If you're playing right, are big money. Sorry.
Why would you apologize?
Sorry for not calling Ren and telling him what prop bets to take tonight. I should have
I
done that.
probably wouldn't have answered. I was on calls right up until show.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's going to be a long, interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a long process. We'll see exactly how it all battles out. We all kind of agree that price manipulation and dedicated time, like there needs to be a little bit more leeway to it, but they got to figure out what this commodity actually is and figure out how they're going to negotiate that bit of water. This is a good thing to get people's eyes on it, but this is by no way
Not even close.
something that's going to like tilt the industry. Like this is just to get people looking at it. And not for anything, this could be Epic's like fuck you, I'm out, drop the mic kind of moment, because Fortnite has been on a decline. And if they just decide to write the fucking ship off on this one and just be like, antitrust, boom, and walk out on the game, because, like we said, 1 year with nothing on a Google store, with nothing on an iStore, like, what does that environment do to their sales? Can their companies survive trying to do something like this? You know, so I mean, was it what was the whole real modus operandi behind putting, you know, the line in the sand? Like, are they just a sacrificial lamb, or is there, like, are they just going to kind of stumble away a little bit later on and like, damn, that hurt?
Or are they, or are their shareholders going to go up in arms and remove whoever is the current official CEO or whatnot of the company, and instill someone else who's going to change the policy, and all of a sudden come back and be like, all right, you fine. Because at the end of the day, it's about the shareholders. It's not about your
they're gonna bring somebody
personal
in who wants to toe the line.
Yeah, it's not about your personal crusade or whatever it might be.
No,
Right.
You
like
went
I said,
into this.
something
You went
good.
into this wittingly and knowing. Like that's the really unfortunate part of the whole thing is. I don't disagree that something needs to be done and regulations need to be put in place, and you know, it does need to be figured out how to go about regulating, if that's the right word, this environment and this type of digital sale, and how they go about doing that is going to be, that's the trickiest thing of all. I mean, how are you going to go after a commodity that is literally bits and bytes when you can't identified as a physical object?
Right.
You can't call it a monopoly because it's three companies that are all doing the same thing.
So is this
and you have the right, you have the freedom as a developer, if you want to take your time and your sweat equity, and you want to, and it happens with every, I mean, software companies have been doing this forever.
Is this something that may be actually the catalyst behind this is cryptocurrencies? In solidify. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is this to solidify what data is actually worth, and to either crush or find a way to seize control of these crypto companies?
Interesting.
I mean, as I was listening to everything, I'm sitting here and I'm going, well, there's only one thing on the internet right now that the government doesn't have a real strong hold on because they don't know what to do with it. Like, because right now, you're right, Ren, we still love the space that we're in. You love the fact that you can go to your iStore and you do that. None of us are against that at all.
Not at all.
We love the fact that it's right there. We ask our phones. We ask whatever. We don't even have to type in anything for the most part now. So we can just go and do, and it's done. One-stop shop. I mean, we are definitely people of convenience. The more commodity driven we've gotten, and so it's why most of us all have Prime memberships, so that we can get our 2-day shipping, on all our Prime eligible things. I mean, we are creatures of the habit that, like, none of us are complaining about this, but there is definitely something going on in the background that nobody, like, the dark web has not been exposed yet. We know there's a thing called the dark web, but we don't exactly know what that really means.
I
Like,
mean,
the world as
I'd
a
be
whole
very
doesn't know what that
curious.
really means.
I'd be very curious to see if there is a way, and I'm not saying to justify, but to understand all of these companies have built data centers in the past 10 years. That was the big push for the past 10 years, was to spread our load and build data centers. Apple built a giant one down in Dumps Neck of the Woods in North Carolina, and they're building them in various different places, building them in Europe in various
Microsoft is
different
putting
places.
them underwater, in the desert, in the fucking
So-
space.
Mountain.
So is there a way that this 30%, now obviously it's a business, its job is to make money, and all of these companies we're talking about, their job is to appease their shareholders. Make the money, to make the shareholders money, everybody's happy. Is there a way to find out what it costs to build and operate these data centers? Because all of these have cropped up because these app stores have gotten larger and bigger, and maybe in Apple's case, because they're selling more Macs now than they ever have, even though their market share doesn't reflect it. They're still selling more present day than they were in the past day.
right.
So iCloud is a bigger thing because it comes free with all the computers. So you need data storage for that. Like, is there a way to figure out, maybe the 30%, it may be high, but maybe like 15 or 18% of that 30% is actually going to operating these data centers throughout the world, and they're really only taking home a 12% profit on each sale.
Right.
You see where I'm going? I mean, I know the logic might sound fuzzy and fucked up a little bit, but it's something to explore, in my opinion. Like, it's costing money to make money. We all know that.
Right.
Every business, it takes money to make money, and Apple does a
How do you
lot
spell
of
what you don't
investing
have?
in infrastructure.
I guess
And this
is,
goes for any of these
I
corporations.
guess, for me, I guess it's a Gordon Gekko answer. Greed is good. I mean, how much fucking money does? I mean, Apple could build an entire planet. They could build the Death Star. Okay, NASA builds a fucking toilet bowl to send to the Space Center, and what did it cost? $25,000, $25 million.
Good night, fellas.
Good night, Lou. 25 million
Bye.
for a toilet bowl. Apple could build the fucking space. They have $193 billion billion cash right here in the pockets. $193 billion cash on hand. They can write a check and take it to the bank, and the bank will fucking give them Fort Knox. Here you go. Here's your withdrawal. That's how much cash we have for you. This is how much cash you have.
I mean, you can finish the last how many ever minutes of this show with just trying to talk about 100 and whatever billion dollars, but I'd kind of like to know what your point is, instead of just explaining to me the fact that they can go to the bank and get this cash.
My point is how it's the Gordon Gekko model. Greed is good. How much more money do they need? 30% from everybody to sell an app?
But
Is
does it?
that
I
model?
guess I don't really understand why that matters. Like,
Yeah, I don't
Why?
think that the price model on this 30% is really.
And when it really comes down to it, the operating cost is nothing. You're
How do
fucking
you know?
rich. You're cash rich. You got $193 billion.
Well, okay, but I guess what Bren was saying is it
the
would be interesting to find out how much it costs to maintain the store. Like, what the argument that they're making is we built this store, we make sure, Thump was saying, we make sure this neighborhood's safe. We make sure it's up to date. We make sure that the lights are always on. There's a cost for sure. That's not free.
Yeah, I mean that cost even goes to all of these people that sit at computers and read code all day to make sure these apps are good to go into the store. Like, how many
Yeah.
people is that? You know, how big is your force of people to handle reviewing apps on a daily basis?
Are you giving them your code, or you're giving them the compiled app?
You compile it, you give it to them, and they.
Reading code. There's no reading code.
Well, no, they don't read
The store.
the code that you give them, but they definitely need to test it to make sure that it's secure.
Right, even though they gave you their emulator and you tested it using their emulator and everything works fine, and that's why you submitted it. Yes, they do test it. I know that, but when no one's reading your code, that's against the law. That's copyright protected code. That's another one of the big fucking fights in government right now, is whether or not you can copyright computer code. That's a huge lawsuit going on now also. But you're not giving up your code. You're compiling the app and giving it to them, and they're putting it in the store, and then they run it through the emulator that you ran it through. And they do that for 3 days, and then they pretend that it got 10 million downloads, and then after it's all done, they put it into production cycle and release it to the store. Takes about, what, 2 weeks? 10 days?
Depends.
Right.
Depends.
Right.
I've put apps up that have gotten dropped in the same day. I put apps up that have taken 3-4 days to go up.
Depends on what kind of data processing your app is doing. That's what they're looking at, is where we're going to test your app. Okay, what are they testing? What ports are coming in and out of the app? What are you requesting? Okay, how does it run? It runs smoothly. Is it going to work in all the iOS 8 and up? Because we don't support anything below that. And next week it'll only be 9. And I mean, I get that, but no one's reading code, and that's all computer based.
Well, that's fine, but I think the point is that it does take some manpower to.
What we're saying is there is some degree of financial cost that is on the fact of having to operate this, and there can be distinctively known what their operating cost is.
Right.
Right, servers.
Yeah, it's not zero. Regardless of how much it pans out to be zero as far as their bottom dollar may be concerned, it's still not zero.
Look, there's obviously money involved. You got space.
That was the initial question.
That's my original point. Is there's got to be a way to figure out how much of the 30% is actually going towards operation marketing that they do for you. That's included with your putting it up there, making it an app of the day, putting it up there and writing a story about you and your development and everything that you went through to build this app, all of that.
It's not marketing. Nobody sees that unless you go to the App Store. It's not like you turn your...
Well, yeah, but the only people who will be downloading it are the people who are in the App Store.
Well, I'm saying, but that you can't use that as marketing. That's not marketing.
That is marketing.
No,
it is marketing.
It's a mailer showing up at my house from Apple saying, "Hey, come get these fucking apps from our App Store."
Okay, you gotta stop. You're trying to redefine what marketing is.
We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
Title page in your own personal closed ecosystem is not marketing.
Okay. So if you have, let's go back to the idea that you mentioned where like you have a store, right? You have a store and I want to sell in your store.
Right.
If you put up a sign outside of your store or, somewhere in your store that says, check out Jessica's store, is that not marketing?
Store. You said outside of the store, which is exactly where your signs would be, outside of the store.
What if they're in the front window?
Yeah, what if they're in the window?
That's still considered the outside of the store. It's your fucking... Do you not go look at the Macy's windows at Christmas?
Is that not marketing? Is my question.
But that's considered outside marketing. Putting up a
It's marketing. It's marketing because people will see it and be curious about it.
That's good. I want you to build your own app store and put up ads inside the app store where no one's going to see them except anybody who goes into the app store. That's not marketing.
That is marketing.
No, it's not. It's push data. Marketing would be is if you fucking woke up in the morning, shook your iPhone awake, and a fucking ad popped up that said, hey, download this great new fucking app from the App Store to 100 million devices. That's marketing. Having an ad pop up or a title screen when I physically go to the App Store is not marketing.
That is marketing. I'm sorry. We're going to have to just... That's just not. That's just
where they sell all the penny bullshit.
If
all right,
you,
8-Bit Bros.
Yeah,
We gotta go. 8-Bit Bros. Early edition.
We out.
We'll see y'all on Thursday.